cool video where I do a tune-up on a Pontiac Tempest. Stay along, wait to the end, and I'll tell you the one thing I would do a little differently. And I already talked to Mike. We're gonna probably be going over there soon, and you know, do that one little change, and I think it would make the car even that much better. Welcome to Brocho Builds, and on today we're gonna do a tune-up on my friend's Pontiac, Chevy powered Pontiac, and we're gonna just get the car dialed in. He's had a few issues with drivability, and we're gonna see if we get the car driving right. So hope you guys enjoy. All right, so we're here with Mike's beautiful Tempest. I mean, this thing is gorgeous. Ooh. And Mike, how long have you had it?
Since 2005.
So he's had this for a while.
Yeah. Third year being on the road now.
And it's powered by a Blueprint.
Yep.
383.
Pretty small block.
And what's your issue that you're having? Your complete issue?
So it runs so rich when you get on it, and then sometimes it stumbles, sometimes it doesn't, and you just smell fuel in the cab.
All right. So we're gonna do the first checks, and then we'll turn it on, and then we'll go on from there. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull a plug, and we'll see what the plug looks like. All right, so we pulled the number one plug, and as he said, it is running rich. Now this is just an average, right? So we're not going like full throttle pulls or whatever. Just cruising around, it's running rich. And generally, when you get a motor from a crate engine from a manufacturer, everything will be most likely on the rich side because it's safe. If they sent the motor lean, it would be dangerous, you know, and especially in areas like here where you're at sea level, the engine's gonna, you know, run better. But the problem is if it's too lean, then you be burning stuff up. So they send things over in generalities, and I think we'll be able to get this dialed in a little right. So the next step, we'll turn the car on, I'll check the timing, and then we'll take it for a ride and see what the carb is doing. So we verified timing. So base timing is at about 14-15 degrees, and total timing with the vacuum disconnected is about 31-32. It might take a degree or two more for a little bit peak performance, but it should be fine there. It should run and perform decently there. So what we're gonna do right now is do a quick road test, and I have a suspicion that most of the issues that he's having is gonna be related to the carburetor, being that, what's the gears in the back of this?
I think they're 278.
So it has a pretty you know, high gear set in it, and I'm guessing that most likely the secondary circuit is opening a little too fast and it's causing it to bog. And then we also could check, make sure and see what power valve it has in it as well. But we'll do that, and then we'll see what else we find. So right now we're just cruising along. You know, I'm seeing how his car runs while he's just driving normally. It doesn't seem like it falls on his face, or it's or doing anything popping, banging, or loading up. So that's good. That aspect is good. That will be more or less going towards the power valve circuit. So right now, again, I'm more or less leaning towards the accelerator circuit, the secondaries. And when we have a straightaway where he feels comfortable, I'm just gonna have him, you know, lay into it. Now, when it comes to you know, vacuum secondaries, double pumpers, and whatnot, there's a place for both. Vacuum secondaries work just fine in a performance application. So, you know, you have to run and get a double pumper in every application, especially you know, a street cruiser like this. Vacuum secondaries can be really nice.
After the stop sign, that's pretty straight.
All right. That was floored, right?
That felt pretty good. It's better than it does sometimes. Sometimes when you smell it,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're gonna check the float height. That most likely is your floats.
Okay.
I think they were set a little high, so
Gotcha.
that could be an easy problem to solve right there.
Believe it or not, that was all right one. It got,
Alright.
yeah.
It shifts really early too.
Yeah.
So like if it revved out a little bit more, it will do better. But like I said, I do not trust that tach.
Yeah.
How's it do from a dead stop?
Oh, we can do that. It does. Sometimes I'll chirp it in all three. If it hooks up.
Right. All right. So right now, the secondaries actually open up properly there, and it accelerated. Now, continue the question. You say when it does bog or whatever, like when does it normally happen? Does it happen when it's warm? Does it happen when it's
Cold, on the colder side, I think. And I usually let it warm up to 180, but then it'll a couple times it's stumbled and it's kind of broken apart.
all right?
For lack of a better term.
And that happens like normally. You get like what we just did now. You go out, you get on it.
That was good. I've not gotten.
What's the temperature
good
outside?
response like that.
When it did that, was it warm outside or was it cold?
It was warmer.
Okay.
Let me go up here and turn. This left I hate.
Okay. All right, we came back from our little ride, and I'm gonna pull the carb off, and we'll make some adjustments, put the car back on, and see what that nets us. So we have the carb out here on the table, and we're just gonna, you know, go through it, see what's there, and see if we can make any small changes. It's like I said, it doesn't seem like it's way out. It just enough that I think, you know, during certain conditions that it's gonna make it not as drivable. And again, this is not a race car. This is a street car. So your mindset, you know, in tuning has to be more drivability than let's tear up every street corner that we can. So you're gonna have to just believe me here. I took the bowl out, and it has 72 jets in the front, and it has a metering plate in the back, so there's nothing changed. So I'm gonna keep it as is, as a 6.5 power valve. And although it might be a little bit on the small side, I didn't get a vacuum reading, but it should be close enough to run fine. This cam, I looked it up, it has 230 at 50 for a 383. You know, that's has a decent amount of duration. So it has gonna have a little bit less vacuum. It should have plenty of vacuum for power brakes and stuff like that, but it has a little bit less vacuum. So a 6.5 power valve is, a good starting point. Maybe step it up a little bit, but first I need to get a vacuum reading before we do that. I don't want to change it and then have to go back to change it back later on or whatnot. But one thing I am gonna do, I want to see what we have for the spring in the back for the secondary, and maybe tighten it up a little bit, being that this is, a full weight car with 280 gears. This secondaries opening up a little slower will be of a benefit. So, we're gonna take the vacuum out right now.
That's so good on the highway.
Yeah, I mean, having the highway gears.
Yeah.
So we had a tall yellow spring in there, which is, typical, one of the starter springs that you normally get with a Holley carb. Would honestly probably work great in this application. We're going to switch to a purple spring, a little heavier, mostly because of the gearing in the back. When spinning a tire is not going to matter, but if the tires stick a little bit, I think it's going to pull the motor down. So, and then if it springs open up too fast, it give it, a good old bog. So, by slowing it up a little bit, it'll probably keep it from bogging, especially when the, tires aren't spinning. So, I'm gonna change that, put it back together, preset the carb, and see how it runs. All right, so we're putting the carb back on. And I noticed some of these vacuum hoses are feeling a little loose, so we're gonna make sure they're tightened. We're not gonna have no vacuum leaks. A lot of carb problems could be attributed to vacuum leaks, so we're gonna check that. Go through everything real quick, and then turn it on and see what she does. All right, so we're gonna take a quick ride around the block. Make sure we didn't do anything to go the wrong direction, and hopefully we went the right direction with everything. Make sure, let you know how it goes. So I think we're all set here. I might come and make another visit. He's gonna drive it for the week. It seems to accelerate a little bit better. No, there's no more fuel smell from the floats. We're a little bit on the high side, so it should be fine the way it is. Yeah. Oh, and yes, the throttle cable was improperly adjusted, so now we got more full throttle. So he's gonna drive over the weekend, and next video we give it another update on it. But just certain things like this, when you do like a restoration, you fine tune it, with a weekend here, a weekend there, and sooner or later you have a perfectly good running ride. Enough stuttering from me. The Brojo Builds. Like, share, and subscribe. Ring the bell. So in closing, for Mike's Pontiac Tempest, what would I do differently? Quite simply is give it a little bit more timing. It was set at 14-15 degrees. I'll probably put 16 to 17 degrees of timing and see if it liked it a little bit better there. I didn't pull the cap off to see what weight spring he had in there. It had an HEI distributor. So I would just give it a little bit more base timing, and I think it would be done a little bit better with a little bit more timing. But other than that, for a street combination, that's perfectly fine. Especially he's running pump gas and he's not racing around. He's cruising around. So drivability was what was most important. That thing turns on with one light pump of the gas, cranks, bang, turns on, and he could cruise around with his family. That's what that car is for. So with that being said, this is Brojo Builds. Like, share, and subscribe. Ring the bell, and see me in the next one.